honestly guys, this is the third time I've started this. We're not doing this again. So, hi, Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, coming to you on this 1st of November for the third time, because apparently even without kids, I can stuff up and just need to restart. Luckily, it was within the first couple of minutes. I am back within the space of a month to do a video, yay! Sorry for any slurping. I've just come home from work, decided that while I could do bookwork and housework and everything else, I'm gonna make a video. A big thank you for all the comments. I don't think I've actually said thank you in my last video. That was amazing, considering how sporadic, considering how crazy my life is and how crazy I can be slightly off during my videos because everything's been so crazy. Thank you for all the likes, subscribers, the comments. I'm probably repeating myself, but thank you. It's been awesome. Life has been really insane, especially with the cyclone at the beginning of the year, work changing, so much happening in the background that I haven't mentioned for reasons that until it's set in stone, or because things change constantly, we just haven't said. So it has been so much happening, but I have a finish and I really want to show it, and I have some other bits and pieces, so we're going to jump right into it and get going, and let's hopefully get past 3 minutes before I'm like, oh, that's horrible, let's start again. So I left my diary away, and each time I've started this I still cannot be bothered getting up and getting it because I've just finished work and sitting is great. So I know I did just over 1,000 stitches and on forest grew. This was a whip picked by my whip manager, Vic Gable from Stitch and Button, and basically she just takes my tiny decision out of the app and she picks it herself. I'm doing it as charted. I'm up here, and I'm doing this on 36 count. I can't remember what the fabric is. It's a mint colour. If you really need like a very, very, very light green. Here's a before pic if you really want to know. Oh, and look, I forgot my board again. Just let me know and I will try and find it and put it in the comments. And this is where I am up to. So I think I had this done, I had that done. This was partly done. So I finished off the birds, did this, and all down here. And that's pretty close to the colour. Or DMC, there's like a freaking gazillion of them. Loving this. Loving all the colours. Just to give you an idea of the DMC. We've got that one, that one, that's my partial, that one, and that one. And they live in my Stitch and Button bag. So, really enjoyed that. Very easy. Like I think I did that in 2 days. It was amazing. Right. So, and then I decided, I think I'm going to sneeze, to start beading Snow Queen. So Snow Queen is finished. I'm not going to show you the before. I had to take it into a lady in town that had an actual sewing machine because I don't have one, and cut off 2.5 inches so I can get it on my quantum frame, the biggest one that I have. And we got it done and it is amazing. So it was roughly, because between my counting and highlighting issues and stuff, 1,600 and so 70 beads, because I again don't have my book, but it's around there. So that's her crown. Gotta say, I didn't love working with the bugle beads, and if you're using the called for sizing, I would go with 28 count. Lisa from Lisa Stitching and Such, who just did a whip parade, said that you can actually go down a size. So if you're doing 32 count on hand dyed, I would think about getting some smaller beads. They've barely fitted in some of in the spaces, and I feel if you were doing it on 32 count and everything shrinks, you would find it harder. So that's all in there. Then we've got reindeer, Christmas decorations, Author's face, and then bugle beads and treasures down, thing with a little bit on his feet. And then we go back to the lady, all through her dress, some more bugles in her hair, and then beads for the snow and more bugles down the bottom. Oh, and we've got these big ones here, and then we had some of the slightly bigger ones, pink. Come on, can we get it to the point where people can see? Yeah, these ones here. No, not them ones, these very lightly coloured. These we use like 6 at the most. If you've got another light coloured pink bead of roughly of that size that you could use, I would use it. Anyway, it's finished. It's Iona's. I should actually show it to her. She's never actually asked if I finished it, because I finished it while she was on camp. Stitched on 28 count fabric from Colour Cascades. It was a mist dye, and I can't remember the actual name of the fabric, but I loved stitching on it. The water lilies, I was over beading, to be honest, by the time I got to the end of the beads. It took 2 weeks to bead, and I beaded pretty much non-stop. Right, so happy she's finished. It was one of those moments where I had 5 beads left. I went on Zoom with Virtual Stitches and Vicky, Sammy, Sarah, Laurel, maybe Shannon, were all on, and I did those 5 beads, and it was just the relief of having it done. And then I moved on to Winter's Lace. Now this is not quite a full coverage, but it is a full coverage. It's my oldest whip at roughly 2005 start, and I decided I need to get this sucker done. So I'm not going to be pulling out a full coverage whip until this is done. I can't remember where I put my cover page, so hopefully I'll put a cover page in here and where it was before. And I did 2,000 and something stitches, and they were mostly half stitches, if not all. But I've really decided with this whip that I am not counting it. It's a dimensions. It's really hard with, it goes from 5 strands to 2 strands to 1 strand to 3 strands, and it drives me bonkers. And this one is mostly half stitch in the background with a bit of full crosses, and it annoys me. This is 16 count kit Ada. So that's what it looks like. And then I worked in here. I've actually reached the other side, so now I will start coming down and working my way back in. Do I have another wolf? 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like there should be another wolf, but I could be wrong. So my goal is to work on this. Just move you back. My goal is to work on this until it's done. So I've got that bottom half. I honestly thought about calling it a day there, and just, but I think because there's a little bit more detail on the bottom that I think is needed. And that's where we are with that one. So that's my goal. So I won't be pulling out Outback Storm or any other my full coverages until that one is completed. And this one is also in a stitch and button bag. Not one that I really want in it, but we'll get there. I've got some free ones, so I might swap them out. Where is it? Oh. And then I just finished working on, and again, sorry, I did about 1,000 stitches, 2,000 on that, sorry. I did say that. I pulled out Summer Queen. I'm pretty sure I don't have a before pick for this. Saying a lot, sorry. But it's pretty, where you can see where I've stitched. So in my last video, I think I showed the fact that I stitched all the way to the bottom, and that is all done. So what I did was, from here up, I did her hands and all of this dress around it and in here. And this is stitched on 32 count Belfast from Picture This Plus confetti. And that is where she is up to. Believe it or not, there's still like 10,000 stitches on this. But it will be a finish next year. I did just over 15,000 stitches on Snow Queen. So I can do that. And I'll be working on this every month until the end of the year. So it'll be definitely a finish next year. And then I'll start on, sorry, itchy nose, on Autumn Queen and get that one finished. And that's my whips. We made it. All right, now for some stash that I got. I got the, must have been the magical box mystery box from Pole Stitches, and it came with The Witching Hour by Joan Elliott. And I am not a Halloween person in the slightest, or scary or anything, but I actually really like this. It's growing on me every time I look at it. So this is something I think I will eventually stitch. I'm not sure if that moon, it doesn't say cryonic, like glow in the dark, but I think possibly if I could actually convert something, that's what I would like to do. And then also they give you a bonus chart from them, and it's called a Magical Owl Collection. And again, I really find this cute. Also, I think it's something that the kids possibly would like to do. You also get 2 fabrics with it. I'm not really going to take it out. That's a really good indication on the colouring. because it basically smells. This fabric smells. I've actually got to hang it out. This is 32 count Murano Hocus Pocus. And this one is 32 count Murano Magic Pumpkin. And your standard fat quarter. Gorgeous fabric, just smells. And now we come on to the story of this particular box. What I didn't tell you in my last video, because it just wasn't ready to tell you or slipped my mind, I'm really not sure which. We had to put Sheepdog down. I don't know if anyone really remembers Sheepdog or hear we talk about it, but he was a dog that we inherited 3 years ago from the guy that we brought the farm off. He ended up with brain cancer, was given 15 months to live and only lived 5. He had 2 dogs and he didn't want them put down. His son took one, but it wasn't feasible living in the city to have 2, so we took Sheepdog. One was called Fella, one was called Sheepdog. We didn't obviously name these animals. And Sheepdog was just not a sheepdog at all. Let's be realistic. He was a pet. He was cuddled and loved, itchy eye, not crying yet. And he was old when we got him. And we woke up one day and he couldn't walk. Basically, he had lost the ability to walk in his back legs. And we did a quick phone call to the vets to find out what was going on. And he was 15 years old. And basically they said there was a lot of issues going on. We had previously taken him to the vet. We knew there was issues there, but it had all just gone bad really quick. So we made the decision to put Sheepdog down. He was very sick and in a lot of pain. We just waited 24 hours until Michaela came back from a sleepover so she could say goodbye to him. So this was my mind that day. It was really not with it. And that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So I needed a packet of beads or a couple of packet of beads and a treasure for Snow Queen, which I didn't have. Looked up an Australian website, saw the price, kind of went, oh my goodness, I'm not paying that. I was meaning to put a 1, 2, 3 stitch order in anyway, so I decided to put it in. And this was a couple of weeks before they stopped sending out to Australia. They sent it to me 2 days before they actually banned mail coming out, and I still managed to get it, which is unbelievable. So I did an order, paid it. This was an order I had planned on doing, not necessarily knowing what I was going to buy, but an order I had planned on doing. Like my final 1, 2, 3 stitch order. I've said this a couple of times, but you know, it's a lot of stuff's happening that's really racing forward. After I paid it, it just really dawned on me that instead of paying $50 including postage, like altogether, including postage, for these beads that I needed, I spent way more than that on this 1, 2, 3 stitch order. And then this whole not sending to Australia hit, and I kind of got to the point where I was beading and I needed these beads, and I was like, right, I'm now going to have to do that Aussie order anyway, pay the $50, get these beads in, and at this point I wasn't expecting my 1, 2, 3 stitch order until Christmas. I got my 1, 2, 3 stitch order randomly on a Monday. The next day I got my Aussie order of beads. It is what it is. I now have a 1, 2, 3 stitch order to show you. Right, so I don't know why, I do know why I brought these, but I brought all memorabilias and I kitted them up as much as I could. Can't get DMC from America to Australia anyway, and Kreinik was just not happening. But we got beads, water lilies, and charts. The first one is all Felicity's fort. I got Gipsy Queen. If you have watched me from any amount of time, I had Gipsy Queen, I sold her. I now brought her again because Felicity stitched her on this amazing fabric. It looks stunning, and I had to get her again. And I got the beads and the water lilies for that, and not the whisper thread. Queen Bee, because I just really liked it. Again, water lilies, beads. Crystal Symphony, just the beads. There's a lot of beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 beads, 12 packets of beads. And at the Met, and this is one that I've never really loved, but saw someone stitching it and different fabric. I don't know what they did, but I was like, ooh, I have to have that. I'm not going to go through everything individually, but this is the bag of water lilies. And the bag of beads. With the treasures and the beads that I needed for Snow Queen, which I didn't use. Oh no, I did use them from that. I didn't use them for my Australian order, which I don't have on me, but they were just beads and I put them back. And the place I got it from was amazing. I had them within a week, even though they're on the other side of the country. Cannot knock their servers. If I can remember, I'll write their name down in the box. And that's it. Yeah, I will do it. So we've been renovating our house on our farm. So I'm just gonna insert a couple of photos. That is actually been quite stressful. We're not 100% sure when we're moving in, but we decided to start the process. There's a builder that is staying in our area for a while, and he's been renovating other people's houses. And we decided to grab him while he's here because it would be cheaper than paying people to travel here to do the same job. So, but we also didn't want to pay him to do stuff that we could do. So we have literally been, my husband has been spending nights taking out a wall. And then on the weekends, the kids and I have been moving the bricks out. This house has already been checked for asbestos where we are, in case anyone is going to message me. No, that area has no asbestos in it. It is completely safe, but we are still making the kids and adults wear masks while working in there for safety reasons. So hopefully I've put in a couple of photos, worked out how to do it. So that's been thing. I've got to go and finish off choosing tiles and organise a kitchen, and we're harvesting now and it keeps bloody raining, and it is just been one of those years where in most areas it's been a fantastic year, but stress-wise and so much happening and stress. We'll go with stress mainly. There's a lot of other things, but we'll go with stress. So many decisions to be made, so many emotions, so much stress. Did I mention stress at all? At all. And that's been why I've probably been a little bit scattered, a little bit out there, because it's been so beep, 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 stressful. I have, you know, it's been there. It's been a year. Cyclone at the beginning. So much that has happened, which I haven't mentioned on this channel, and I'm not really going to, but it's all been there in the background happening. And then we decided, let's renovate this house while we've got this guy here, because, you know, he could leave at some point in the next, he's committed for the next 12 months to the area, but after that he could leave. So while he had some free time and we've had some money put aside. We're like, we're going to grab him and start the renovation process. So when we are ready to move into our house, which is like half the size of this house, we can. And it's not going to cost us extra in time and travel. So that has also been happening. I know I spoke to it last time about renovating. Thought I'd show you some pictures. Yeah, it's been a year. Not a bad year, like not a horrible year, just a year. We'll go with that. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. But I just want to say a big thank you to all my viewers and commenters. Again, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for everyone who subscribed. Thank you for taking the time to watch me, who's been very sporadic, very not always together. And just, yeah, it's been awesome. I will be doing a whip parade, probably with different shirts because it'll be over a couple of days with working and everything, and towards the end of the year. I'm hoping, I really can't see my content being more than 20 minutes worth a month. So I'll probably just stick to monthly videos still. But thank you for sticking around and putting up with me. You guys are bloody awesome. And I'll see you next time. Happy stitching.